So, uh, but yeah, we'll just jump in. So we began our session during a tense negotiation with Queen Grabstab of the Elyark Goblin tribe, the encampment of the biting ant goblins. Your party traveled 3 days through the thick jungles, facing the threat of predatory raptor or velociraptors and the chance encounters with undead, of which you managed to avoid on your journey. After finding the camp's location, you unknowingly avoided goblin sentries that were posted throughout their territory to spot sneaking night intruders. And you got a good look at Yelyark in the morning. You saw some adult goblins milling about, doing general chores and upkeep of the area. You also spotted posted guards and a number of goblin children that are living in this village. The points of most interest to you were the prisoners, whom were caged to the south, a small grung being held in a smaller cage within the larger cage, and then 2 humanoid figures, one a half-orc that the party knows from the Colosseum, and the church back in Port Hope named Undril Silvertusk, an orc member of or a half-orc member of the Order of the Gauntlet, who left a day prior from Port Hope with a small group of acolytes and warriors heading for Camp Righteous. Also is a smaller humanoid bird creature, of which was kind of very uncanny and unfamiliar as you examined from a distance with your spyglass. You also would eventually note the 3 large ant hills, each housing large colonies of oversized jungle ants that the goblins seem to be feeding, and even possibly worshiping in some way. And the most important feature, which you seem to believe in is some sort of large catapult or spring trap of some sort, which we also have a beautiful image of that. A massive bent-over tree with ropes and vines strung to the outskirts of the village, which sits upon an interwoven floor of palms. But that seems crazy. Anyway, after some planning, you sprung into action. The larger portion of the group marching into camp at the less than stellar playing of your face, while Maddie and Azaka attempted to sneak up towards the rear, where 2 goblins appeared to guard the so-called launch mechanism of the village, with their chopping axes in hand. Brett attempted to reason with Queen Grabstab, while her army of goblins aimed spears and bows at him and the party. Things seemed to be going his way to a point. The Queen, though, was unwilling to believe any force could actually threaten Elyark. She'd never even heard of this tribe of venturers, as you recalled. But she believed and respected them to a point, deciding not to instruct her goblins to attack these intruders, but to allow the group to leave Elyark from whence they came, though not without first calling them weak. In response, Brett, ever with an eye for flair, shot sparks from his hands in a show of power and kind of challenged the leadership of the Queen, questioning her as a protector of this village from these grung that you had found out in the jungle, and also invoking the name of her rival, Yaka, as a goblin who may be better fit. In a flash of anger...
way better leader than she is.
In a flash of anger, Grabstab turned in a flourish and flare and began sending bouts of flame from her palms. 3 rays of scorching, fiery energy hurling toward the chieftain of the adventurer tribe. That's where we're gonna bounce in. Let me get us to the map, so Nate can really take it all. As I zoom out a bit, so y'all are here. I took out some of the dynamic lighting around the village just to make it a little more fun to look at, because it really wasn't doing much for me. And, well, let's just get some initiatives rolled, and we'll chat.
Roll for initiative!
And then we'll just see what the heck is gonna happen next. Oh, the song is working. Okay. Goodness. There's a lot of things going on over here. So many initiatives. All right, so the goblins are grouped by their masks to make life easier.
I'm logging into Roll20 as we speak.
Nice. I will not roll Brett then.
Is there a reason why I have more hit points than I'm supposed to?
Yes. There is. I think those are from Gorm. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we all start with 6 temp hit points, I think.
His inspiring leader speech that he gives at the beginning of the day beefs everybody up. And you guys haven't had any encounters yet today. Which goblins by dawn? I am the queen. This is what Queen Grabstab looks like. Okay. My God, so much going on. Okay, so for reference, way back here, almost 160 feet from you, are Maddie and Azaka, who have been sneaking up basically behind the group and have got to a point within about 60 feet of the rearmost goblins, being these boys back here with the axes standing beside the launch mechanism, as we're calling it. These here, these like 3, there's 1 up front and then 2 behind, are the anthills. I think everything else is fairly self-explanatory. A bunch of fucking goblins. I think a flock of goblins. And yeah, we any questions that anyone has before the chaos reigns? Love it. So all of this is kind of happening at once. It was a very tense situation. You can see the queen basically starting to shoot these flames out of her hands, but all of this is happening within this first 6 seconds. So Tiny, you're able to react before Queen Grabstab's able to get the spell off. So Tiny, you will go first. There's no surprise round, as it were. Just what you want, right?
Yeah. Is it one big ball of fire? Or does it seem to be multiple little things? Or is there not time to tell?
Yeah, I mean, you can roll Arcana check if you want.
Yeah.
Michael did already verbalize it, by the way, if we want to table talk it.
Well, he did, but, he made it sound like it wasn't that just now.
Who's to say? Yeah, it looks like scorching rays, as it were. Like maybe 3 rays of flame that are starting to fork out from
towards just one of us.
Too hard to tell who that's coming towards. But your group is standing pretty dang close together, I'd say.
We're gonna move here.
Oh, excuse me.
He's gonna semi-grab Steven, just more shielding him.
Who's that? Who's Steven?
Not Steven, Brett. Hold on, I have 2 things, and I don't know which one I need to do better.
Are you trying to impale him with a javelin? Because that also happened.
I mean, yes.
In the last few episodes, one of your own party members did impale Brett with a javelin.
Yeah, surprise. No, we're just going to Warding Wind and see what fun interaction that has.
Interesting turn
with some little firebolts.
Yeah. Can't wait to figure out, because I don't even have a clue. Warding Wind, is that a 10 footer or
10 foot range, target self?
Okay, I'm gonna
10-minute duration.
I'll give you a little.
You get a bubble.
How's that? Does that have any immediate effects on this area?
On the area? No, just deafens me and anybody in the area.
Love that. No, nobody can hear.
Difficult terrain for anybody. And then ranged attack rolls have disadvantage if the attack passes in or out.
Perfecto. So this, you guys have seen this before from Tiny. I believe Tiny did it in a closet once.
A couple of times. We just spelled some fog with it.
Yeah. So this.
Maddie has seen it in a closet before.
Yeah, Maddie has seen it up close and personal. All right. Anything else, Tiny?
No.
Gamos.
Even with the difficult terrain, Gamos is going to sort of gallop in, hold his lance high. Bonus action, he is going to rage, heating things up around him.
Love that. You'll love to see it.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of those guys.
Ouch.
None of my friends.
What is it, 2?
2 points of fire damage.
Oh.
And he is going to lance crab stab.
Ow. Ow. I wish I could do all of them at once. There we go.
That's 2 additional damage too. I didn't have the rage kicked on.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Beautiful. 23 shockingly hits. Queen grab stab. Shocking.
Oh.
She is incredibly harmed by this lancing stab.
That's my turn.
Love that. You love to see it. Zadala will look at her character sheet and be like, holy shit is popping off. Kind of thing. It's best to just fucking hold. Or, no, she'll hold. Just kind of flank out and hold there. Actually, she will hold there, kind of behind this fucking pillar of wind. All right, first goblin group's turn. They start launching short bows. We'll do these first couple people at the charging goat, because Jesus, that's horrifying. So the first 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, coming at Gamos as he charges in, not at advantage. So maybe 17, 22, I presume.
The last one hits.
All right, beautiful. 1 hit for 2 points of piercing damage. The rest glancing off your shield. 2, 3, 4. Okay, the next 4 are sending them into the warding wind, because they don't know what's going on. So those will have disadvantage. Coming at Brett. 11, 5, 19, and 15. And any of those, the 19 maybe?
19 hits, and so does 15.
Okay, so the 19 is only the 5.
5, yeah. So 10 points of total damage, right?
Yep.
Okay.
One of them just kind of gets caught in that wind and just swirls around and maybe impales you right in that javelin scar spot, unluckily. And then actually these two are going to, these two in the back are going to look at each other and try and get, let's see, we need to get within range. They're going to move up, start getting towards the bows that they don't have. 5, 10, 15, 20. We'll get here. Basically start collecting their bows. Mythos. Welcome back to the chaos.
So many goblins.
Of goblins.
Goblin D's nuts.
The goblin village of Yellyark.
Well, I think that's as far as I can go.
Struggling through the wind.
All right, that's the turn.
Love it. Brett. Standing in a tornado.
Yeah, remember that really thoughtful, laid out, if X happens, do Y, if A happens, do B thing that
Let's just say
I was worried I was going to be
glad you're here. Yeah, let's say I'm glad you're here.
It's shot to hell.
This isn't on the list.
No, I did not prepare for Preston's warding win. Thankful for it, not unappreciative. He's working for Brett. I'm acknowledging. It's a gratefulness. Just didn't foresee this on the list of circumstances we could end up in. Okay. I am going to. What am I going to do? I'm guessing grab stab looks pretty bad, right?
Yeah, blood kind of gushing out staining her robes.
Okay.
A couple entrails still attached to the lance.
I think what I will do is use my wand of magic missile, and I'm going to fire 3 charges, which should be 5 magical darts, which don't have to worry about disadvantage because they just hit.
Yeah, those are.
All right, so I'm going to fire those at grab stab.
She is obliterated into the ground as they rain down upon her. Much like a what is that horrifying jet that shoots shit from the air? It's like a Predator missile.
Top Gun
130.
Yeah, it's looking at. There's an AC-130, just hammering her into the ground.
Okay. Brett will then step forward and call out to the rest of the Biting Ants tribe. Could I, it's probably a full action to use Prestidigitation. Yeah, it's an action. All right. He'll just shout as loud as he can. Peoples of the Biting Ants tribe, this is your last chance. There is no need for you to needlessly die like Queen Grabstab. Stop this and live. And that will be my turn.
Love to see it. And we almost made it to her turn, Queen Grabstab. Thus, she is deceased.
And thus her story was ended.
Azaka and Maddie. Azaka has 80 feet of movement with a dash. So she gets to where she wanted to be. Maddie. Maddie, I don't know what Maddie can do.
She can get pretty far with Step of the Wind.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Step of the Wind is 1 key, and she can dash as a bonus action. So she can get right up to the thing with an action left. Now I pose the question to each of you. We are playing Maddie by committee at the moment. Maddie has an action. What Maddie sees and what Azaka sees is this buffeting, warding wind just swirling. And she sees multiple of the party kind of within this wind. And she also sees Gamos just basically skewering. And then she sees the flares from above. Shit has popped off. I give Maddie to you.
Is there any discourse in what she does?
I mean, she's not doing anything right now. That's the move, right?
She has an action.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like she should hold her action.
That's what I'm.
Would Maddie?
That's what
action?
I don't know. All I know from what Connor said last week was Maddie could run up and still be able to blow fire out.
She
Yeah, I
wants
think
to
the
cut the
plan
rope,
was
right?
she was going to kill the goblins to keep them
Yeah.
from cutting the rope, but
Yeah.
they've moved away.
Yeah,
So
so I think.
That's where it started, and then when shit popped off, it was the question of should we just launch it?
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna
What
lie. I thought her
happens?
goal was to go and cut the rope
Yeah.
and just
I
send them parachuting away.
or just see what happens.
I would say she would hold because we haven't done anything to signal her, but obviously that's in our best interest. So
I will say the question is, has she been signaled by the tornado, the flares, and the killing that has begun? That's my question. Because she can't hear Brett
Well,
over the bafting winds.
if she cuts the rope, the amulet's probably going.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the question. I'm posing this question to you because if she doesn't go, we all know the goblins still do, and there are still many of them left.
Yeah.
So at what point does she do her thing to try and protect from what's happening? That's my question. Because Azaka's back here too.
Right. Yeah, we did not cover a specific launch signal. Which
Yeah,
is
I thought
obviously,
the whole plan when we sent her off was to keep the launch from happening.
that is what I thought as well, but I'm sure, I don't remember specifically, I'm sure we talked about like, oh, that could also work in our favor, you just catapult them out of there.
Yeah, so when you sent them off, that was the plan, was that we don't want them to launch. And then when combat began, Connor's instinct was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I could run up there and breathe fire and get rid of all of them, so that we don't need to worry. So that's where we left off. So that's what I'm asking. So Maddie's in position and she's ready. And we can see where this goes.
I would, and once again, it is biased, but here's like the middle ground of, I think, her waiting a turn, like to see, like there's no guards there, there's no imminent threat to her, waiting her
they
turn.
ran forward.
Yeah,
They got out.
like
Basically, no one knows she's even there at this point.
Exactly. So my vote is for her to wait, but I don't know whether that's what she would do or not. I don't know how Connor would play it.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. We get to play it how we want to play it at this point. So we'll have Maddie hold for now, but looking on with like a tentative face.
Yeah, like if Gamos gets murder balled by some arrows in a second or some spears, like that's why she's holding her action. Like she could do it at any second.
It is the green-faced goblin boy's turn. It's my goblins. Damn it. Come on. So many pages of shit. Okay. Start with you. God, where's my? There we go. No, that's the wrong one. There we go. All right, so the first guy, the guys right up against Gamos are going to scimitar. And scimitar. 23 and an 8.
3 will hit.
Up that.
2.
Gobby boy. So come out here. Short bow at Gamos. 5. That will severely miss. Short bow, 8. Love to see it. And short bow. Short bow. 8s and 7s. And then 3 more short bow volleys at the big goat.
Mhm.
8. 19. And all right.
I am
Those are-
officially out of temp hit points.
Victory is mine. Okay, so there's the goblin. Those goblins. Gorm, here's your go.
So I've still got shadows on my screen.
What is happening?
But I can see over on the camera rock. So I'll need to know. I read up on the spell description and couldn't tell. If I go south 2 squares, do both of those count as difficult terrain or just the first one?
Both of those are difficult.
Okay, so if I go southeast, those would both count as difficult terrain as well.
Yes, I can make it. God, I'm so annoyed that you have.
He'll move. Oh, what am I doing here?
There you go.
Why is it the way it is?
Where was I? Was that where I was right there?
Down 1 more.
You were.
I think
right
you're
there.
probably next to the camera.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep. So if you go 2 in a diagonal southeast, yep, nailed it.
That'll use 20 feet. Then he'll use. Oh, man. Okay. That'll be his 30. And he will use his action to double move.
I wonder if I can just take the dynamic away and see if that'll do it. Because I don't know why it's doing that for you. Does not make any fucking sense.
So I had a lot of pop-up windows come up as I was dragging him across there, but I think I got to where I was supposed to go. If somebody wants to recount, I can't see the shadow.
Daylight mode advanced. Can you see now?
Nope. Yep.
Alright.
Yep.
Weird.
Probably took a hit from one of those goblins as I ran by.
So what? 5, 10, 5, 10. Yeah, you probably could have avoided that guy if you needed to.
He's going for the straightest route. He doesn't really care about if that thing is going to try to hit him.
Okay, then he will absolutely try to hit you. With a short bow? Or scimitar, whatever it is. How's an 8? Quite solid, I'd say. All right. So it is the wide-faced goblins, as I like to call them. Let's start from the front again. This one. Attack. Gamos with the scimitar, 23. For a very solid 1.5 points of damage. These hurt boys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 short bows at Brett. These are disadvantage. 15, 10, 15, and 5.
So that first 15,
Yeah.
I will use my reaction to cast Silvery Barbs.
It's a disadvantage on that one.
So just roll again, and we use the lower. So yeah, that misses. And then there was another 15 in there, right?
Yes. The crit was a 15.
Gotcha. But it's only 8 points of damage.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Not
That does hit.
Cute. That's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. The remaining 4. The remaining 4 are going to volley a short bow barrage from the sky upwards at arm if they can get there. They're 60 feet, 80 feet. Yeah, they're good. So these are coming to Gorm. No advantage. 16, 16, 15, and 8. I believe all miss. So a bunch of arrows come down, kind of volleyed up from the sky behind you, Gorm. And Tiny, it is your go.
This is not a concentration spell. If I cast another spell, does the warding wind stay or go away?
I'll have to see the text of the warding wind. It shouldn't, if that's the case, as far as I understand.
It doesn't really specifically say either way.
Yeah, it just lasts for the spell's duration, which is 10 minutes.
Cool.
Let me check.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it should be concentration, but I don't know. It is.
That's also a good point, yeah. I don't know. I don't have it marked as concentration anyway.
Because it's in one of the newer guides, right? So it's not in the thingy. It is supposed to be, yeah, it's concentration.
Is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, usually if they last like that. They are.
Where's your... What's your source? Oh, never mind. It says concentration. Ignore me. Cool. In that case, we're gonna leave it up. We're gonna move there, I believe. What's my range on? 20 feet, cool. Move there, and we're gonna place a little totem on the ground because that's what we do. Yeah. Bloop.
It works.
Gamos and Brett will heal for, I think it's my level. Yep, so 4. And that's gonna be it. And we'll keep the wind up, put it in a position to where if they need to use it as a shield, they can back up into it.
So good.
So you said heal for 4?
Yeah.
All right.
4 whole puntos.
Big
Gamos.
4. Love it.
Gamos, you want to burn some goblins?
Got a question first.
Of course.
So, Gamos is a little big, but there's a little bit of a gap between him and the goblins. Right there.
Yeah.
Can he move in and get to grab stab without like difficulty?
I feel like in this situation, the goblins aren't necessarily like, they're like all around. They're little. Yeah, it seems fun.
Okay.
Seems fun.
Gamos is gonna chuck his lance to the side, just throw it to the side, off the pad, and he is going to
Important detail.
He is going to just charge in at 5 feet, grab, stab,
Yeah, grab stab.
and will kind of do a leap back, taking any attack of opportunities.
Love it.
And will shout to Maddie, it is go time.
Do it.
All right, so a couple opportune attacks. Well, did these guys get burned? No matter what.
I haven't burned anything.
Okay, then attacks of opportune from three scimitars, 11, 14, 13. Beautiful, like real solid goblins.
They're not in battle formation.
It's true. They have not battle stacked. I love it. Okay. Back to Maddie. What can Maddie do? Is the question. Punching it seems dumb. So I guess breath weaponing it. Can she just do that?
Yeah, she can.
I think it replaces an attack.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, you can replace one of the attacks with an exhalation of draconic energy in a 20-foot cone. All right. Because Maddie's not a fucking idiot. She would stand there as to not cone Ozaka in the face. How much demo do you do? She chooses fire because why wouldn't she?
Launch.
Believe it or not, this thing does have an AC, which is not
Does it have a dex save?
It does not have a dex save. It does take the damage. So she exhales her breath. And if I remember correctly, yeah, her face goes a little gaunt when she sees that it kind of burns away some of the foliage, but it doesn't catch on the rope like she may have hoped. As it does have resistance to fire for some reason.
Worse.
So it starts kind of licking up. It does do some damage to this poor thing. I don't remember what weapon Ozaka has, but she can obviously help.
Doesn't she have a scimitar?
She does have a scimitar. So she will swing down with a scimitar twice. And unable to chop through. Unable to hit home. But a bout of fire from the back. and a couple chops with a scimitar as their held actions. And as you hear the chops kind of rain down, those of you not being buffeted by wind, you see a couple goblins kind of turn their heads a little bit. And nothing seems to happen. Anything else, Gamos?
Just holding grab step and a shield.
I'm just going to put grab step too because it's fun that way. Zendala, who's been holding. Should do something at this point. She's going to firebolt a couple of these that are kind of out by Gorm. Don't think she has advantage, but that'll hit. Don't think she's blessed. It literally, I don't understand why that's happened. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know how to give a bless to an NPC character sheet. Doesn't make sense. But that one's dead. All right, it's the Tusky Goblin's turn. Which the two that have left their post will turn around and with their new short bows in hand fire on Azaka. Two solid strikes, getting rid of her temporary HP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's 8. Gonna go 4 at Gamos, 4 at Gorm at the moment. First 4 Gamos. 10, 20, 15, and 8. And then at Gorm, 12, 6, 9, and 19.
Nope.
Damn. That one pings off the shield.
Got that shield of faith working.
It was just so close. So close. It just dashes off to the side. And that is it for the Tusky Goblins. Mythos. The shit continues to pop.
It's popping off in a big way. I'm very rusty. Can we retroactively say that I cast Shaylee last round or no?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that okay?
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
The wind didn't throw you off that much.
I have another question.
Never.
Did those 2 goblins that Mythos may or may not be going after do anything these last 2 turns?
No.
Okay.
So those goblins are in a tent. That is revealed by the fact that there's no more dynamic lighting on the map.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing has happened. From this.
I'm just making sure they weren't forgotten.
Thank you.
And Mythos just kind of like checking his head, like, oh, what's going on in here? What does he see the 2 goblins in there doing?
Yeah, so
Those are
Mythos
totally children, aren't they?
They're doing nasty.
As you kind of peel back the curtain there of that tent, obviously Mythos would know that this tent has been, there's been white smoke kind of pouring out of the top of this tent. But basically the whole time you guys have been spying on this camp, and this is also the tent where it seems like ant food had come from when there was some kind of ritual earlier in the day dealing with the large ants. But yeah, as you kind of peel back this curtain, some smoke kind of like clears out of the door, and you just see these 2 really really old goblins that are just sitting there, and there's a fire with some like weird leaves and other things on it that's producing the smoke that's going up into the air. And the goblins are not really facing you or the door. They're just kind of like sitting there tending the fire. And as you kind of like open it up and like look in there and the smoke kind of comes out, they don't seem to like move or change. And amongst the room is all these little barrels and crates and things. There's a lot of like hanging strips of what look like jerky and meat kind of hanging from the ceiling of this tent that appear to be being like smoked. But yeah, there's two really fucking old goblins, like wrinkly old goblins that are just tending this fire. And they don't seem to notice you behind them at the door. Or the fact that any loud noises, buffeting winds,
That's a song.
anything, they don't seem to have noticed.
Since I was here the last 4 weeks, is that ritual like? Are we concerned about it? Is it an evil ritual? Do we not know what it is?
Yeah, you didn't really see much. You saw the kind of the goblins go into the tent and start kind of like getting the small like pellets and throwing them onto the anthills, while all like the children were like dancing and singing and following the queen around. But it didn't look like any dark rituals that would have been scary or anything, as far as you can tell. But it did look like they were feeding ants at a petting zoo or something. If the ants were goats.
I don't know if Mythos will really just go in there and murder ball some old people.
Welcome back.
But they're
to
goblins.
They're just in there puff passing, man.
Yeah, am I
They're
feeling
high as
any,
kites right now.
like, am I feeling any of the effects of hallucinogens?
They're feeling real good.
Not immediately. Anything strange? You might like cough a little bit, and they don't seem to respond to that either.
He's just gonna close up the tent.
Just slowly closes the tent.
And backs away. And he'll attack this one instead.
Hell yeah. Roll high, don't make me look up their AC. Damn it, it's close. They're small. Excuse me, does not hit. Does not hit the squirmy little bastard. Brett, it's Yolko.
So Gamos securely has grab stab, right?
Yeah, there is a bleeding impaled goblin, or well, once impaled goblin, just kind of hanging off of him at the moment.
Okay.
Just grab stab over the shoulder.
Okay. And he's retreating back towards us.
Yeah, he kind of like leapt back. Took an arrow to the shoulder.
All right. Brett will step out of the warding wind for a moment and shout, "Maddie, Azaka, now would be good." And we'll play
See the
sharp
flames kind of licking up as Maddie gives you the finger, like, working on it!
play a sharp chord on his electric guitar and is going to cast Shatter
You'll love to
right on This one right there.
Yeah.
It has a 10-foot range. So, yeah, that's a lot.
Oh boy.
It's 5, 10, 12 goblins, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a lot. There we go.
Holy shit. That's good rolls.
Let's see, DC 14. Con.
It is con.
Do they take half?
They take half.
Okay. I will not be rolling.
You won't? Oh no.
18 points of thunder damage.
But if they pass, they take half.
Yeah, so or 9.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not what Brett wanted. I just wanted to scare him, guys.
It's super effective.
Oh no.
Hey, at least you didn't hit one of the tents with the children in it.
Yeah, I think I almost would
Very true.
rather.
It's
I don't know.
super effective.
No.
I wish I could highlight them all and make them all die at the same time.
Well, it's more horrifying for Brett to see them all drop at once.
A very loud noise cracks out into the jungle.
And at that moment, he knew he fucked up.
Everything freezes. He looks at the camera rock. I bet you're wondering how I got here. And then we
Rewinds tape.
Rewind to the very front, the very first episode.
That's literally half of them.
Goblin bodies fly through the air along with scimitars and short bows.
Oh, damn.
There's a Wilhelm scream. Ah! This one flies through the air. It's really good. Anything else, Brett?
I'll step back into the warding wind. Horrified.
Brett's just like, oh, whoops.
What have I done?
As Gamos is holding the bloody...
It's
the
out of
bloody
tune.
goblin.
It's out of tune.
Turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
Azaka, let's see if she can redeem herself at all.
Tiny looks at Brett and goes, "You're helping me bury them." You can't hear him though.
Fuck off, Tiny.
You just see Tiny mouth something at you. Azaka, again, is just having a really hard time. Oh, there you go. 7 points. And I think he's going slashing.
It's resistant to fire, so who knows?
Yeah, resistant to fire, piercing, and immune to bludgeoning, poison, psychic. But it is vulnerable to slashing. So that is 14 points of slashing damage. Which you see her like hit it, pull back, and then she's just standing there. And then you actually see one of the we zoom in where we can see one of the small strands is still kind of burning from the fire damage earlier. And there's just a ding, 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 and then it rips. And in an instant, I can finally show you the full thing. Show to it after me. Please feel free to click on that, if you will.
It's also at the top of the map.
It is also at the top of the map. Yelyark. Oh, these little dumb things are on the fun little words. It's like Slipknot, Flang.
Village relocates. Half the village relocates.
There we go. That's so funny that those were on the other there. There we go. There you go. Looks beautiful. The catapult trap is sprung. And with a very loud noise and, apparently a twang, Yelyark is scooped up into this palm frond ball. The tree unfurls into the air. And with a surprising amount of speed and velocity, this ball of palms and Yelyark is hurled through the opening in the jungle off to the east, with probably a lot more screams, probably a little bit of laughter. because of course they're goblins. And we'll just keep it in combat at the moment. But all of these goblins, including their dead bodies, are currently not there. Leaving only a big green circle of probably brown, honestly. Probably kind of brown.
Can you imagine the horror of just raining dead goblin corpses?
There you go. Big brownish circle of beaten down land. Maddie watches it go over her head. Gorm.
He recognizes the orc.
Yes, yeah.
Tell me if I can do all this in one turn. He's going to ask, they okay to be let out?
She kind of looks at you. She's a bit haggard. And after just watching this thing fly through the air, all these goblins screaming, yes, they're good. Even that one. She points to the small frog that's inside a cage. Inside the cage.
He only heard yes, and swung it. Whatever lock is there. He's not a lock picker.
I love it.
So he's swinging his axe at whatever he thinks will open the door.
Yeah. Roll to hit. That will hit, and yeah, you actually smash a part of it on the side that is there's kind of these it's mainly steel, but it's pretty rusted, and they've kind of used this kind of heavy bamboo to kind of fix it in areas and lash together some areas. But yeah, you're able to start to bust it up with that. It's probably honestly large enough for the smallest one to kind of get out. But yeah, a few more solid strikes and it'll be open. Be able to be busted in pretty easily.
All right. Well, he will do that one chop per turn.
Love it.
Unless killing those goblins leveled him up.
Not quite yet. This goblins, I don't think there's any of them. Oh no, there is one of them left. He kind of turns and watches, and then will use his bonus action to disengage and his action to dash. And he will get to there when he sees Maddie and Azaka, and he kind of turns a little bit as he runs. It is then that ants emerge here.
What?
But
Marshall, mute one ear.
one of them was muted, maybe. That's weird.
Should be fixed now.
So the ants start to emerge, though the wind is still going.
Mm-hmm.
And they're big, but they're not that big. So I don't think that most of these can even get over in that direction. And the other ones would honestly start to kind of walk in the direction of Gamos and also go into the wind. So now there's just a bunch of ants that flung into the air and are spinning around kind of in the wind, some of them being flung out. Tiny, is your go.
I mean, did they look angry? Like, I don't know.
It was kind of hard to
I know.
tell. They just kind of emerged and then immediately got flung into the air. And honestly, a lot of them are just being flung out and away and up high into the jungle.
Brett heals for... I think this one's a D4. Yeah. Red heals for 4.
Nice.
And I mean, if there's ants, we're just gonna. We're just gonna help.
I love it.
Negate that real quick. And he'll turn and look at Gamos and just kind of shrug like,
A couple of the ants
I'll be here.
into Gamos and just like kind of splash
Just pelt it off.
on his massive muscle-bound chest.
And yeah, that's what we'll do.
If uninhibited, these remaining 2 goblins will be sprinting into the woods unless there's anything anyone wants to do to stop them. And the ants will basically be flung into the air and no longer be a swarm that you need to worry about.
It's only that anthill? The other ones aren't?
Yeah, the other ones, nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
The others, just the one next to you. Any goblin sniping hat going on here,
or ant?
Yeah, so these 2 goblins run off to the great beyond in the general direction that you saw Yelyark get flung. And you are out of combat. No one exits the smoking tent. The smoking
I'm
tent.
sure they are having the time of their lives in there.
And Gorm is able to finish his breaking of the below, and Undril will come out with a small humanoid boy, which Gorm, from far away, your party had kind of thought that this looked like a kind of a bird creature of some kind. But you realize as it's like this, Undril is kind of helping them come out. It actually looks like a small child, though. Oh, why did I do that? Damn, you roll 20. Though he is wearing this strange mask on his face that there's like a weird sketching of it here. Looks like this, making him kind of look like a bird face. And he's wearing this like robe that's dark blue, like feathers, created of feathers, and it goes from his neck all the way to the floor. The robe is super matted and like covered in dirt and mud, and looks pretty gross. And the boy is, somewhere 5-6 years old, quite young. And the little frog is, as I said, inside of a cage within a cage. And it is a grung, very clearly a young grung that similar to those that you had encountered days ago near the Shrine of Vorn. And I think we'll take a break there and then jump back in. After the flinging of Yelyark. So yeah, the village has been flung. The goblins are dead and gone, most of them. And you now are all basically alone here, but you have uncovered Undril, who you met before, a small child dressed as some type of bird, and a frog. And that is where we're going to just jump on in.
Tiny will go with the frog.
What's that?
Tiny's going to the frog.
Great. Are you going to let him out of his cage?
We're gonna talk to him first.
Love that.
Using my beast and plant communication skills.
That's
they can understand me. They don't necessarily. I don't necessarily understand them. We're gonna ask the frog. Are you hurt?
It responds with a.
Cool. Do you know where your home is?
Two rivets. And if since Nate hasn't encountered these lovely things, these are grung. I'll send the image into the chat because it's really pretty nice. And what your party knows of grung. Oh, there is actually a grung. That's even better. What your party knows of grung is that they are aggressive frog-like humanoids found in rainforests and tropical jungles. They're known to be fiercely territorial and see themselves as superior to most creatures. And your party learns that, or knew that, I think already. I think Brett some bathroom
I
reading
critted on a nature check, and that's how we know.
Yeah, he had like read it in like a almanac in the bathroom or something at one point in his life. But yeah, this one is, and Azaka has told you that the grung and the goblins and most of the tribes of the small tribes like this of the jungle just don't like each other. So
Honey will look the frog in the eye and he will say, "We will not hurt you." And we'll open the little cage. The cage inside the cage.
Tiny, do you want me to try? Are you understanding all that?
He's just one frog. I'm sure it's fine.
Because I could talk with him if you really want me to.
It is up to you.
Just looking back and forth between the two of you.
All right. Hi there, my tiny friend. Were you able to get any of that out of my rather large friend, or no?
It rivets back to you again, and it's at that moment that you realize, oh, it's actually speaking a language. This is technically not a beast. This is an intelligent creature, and it is speaking a very ribbity-like language that you don't understand.
Well, Tiny, I gave it my best. Your guess is as good as mine, brother.
We will attempt to unlock the door. Or smash the lock, or whatever.
Yeah, so this cage is much easier to unlock than the other, especially because you guys have full on tools and stuff. You can easily kind of just pry this lock open. The grung was not strong enough to kind of get out of it. But yeah, it just kind of stands there and looks at you and kind of waddles a little bit away, but it kind of just stays in the area, just kind of like looking at the group of you, ribbiting every so often as it just kind of stands there.
I'll ask Silver Tusk, how did you all get captured?
She kind of looks to you as she's getting out, and these two were already here when I got brought in. It was myself and another, but he didn't make it. She kind of looks back to where the village once was. I'm glad you did what you did. Those goblins were monsters.
Oh, they were?
She kind of gives some sort of look, and then she kind of quickly looks around wait, you didn't happen to see an axe or any armor or anything around? And she looks a little worried as she realizes she doesn't have her necklace or anything on her. And then she sighs deeply as she looks at the village that is no longer there. Turning back to you guys. Thank you for springing me. I presume you didn't come to break me out. How did you find this place? Where are we exactly?
Well, fair lady, you are looking at what was once the former sprawling metropolis of Yelyark, I believe. We chanced upon this through many misadventures. Glad that we were able to come to your aid. He will kiss her hand. We encountered some old associates, these goblins, out in the jungle, and they pointed us this way.
Well, the gods surely looked upon me favorably. I feel like I was. And she like kind of looks to the young child and kind of like squints at him, unsure. I feel like I was next to be on the menu. Do you know what I mean?
How did they capture you? Weren't you on the way to Righteous when I last saw you?
Yes, me and others. We camped one night in the jungle. Were set upon by living vines. They split us up. Only me and Merkel got out. I didn't anticipate how tough these jungles would be. And we got lost. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure where we currently are. How far are we from camp?
I'll kind of look around at everyone. So you never made it to Camp Righteous?
No. They do.
We made it to what was left of it. When we got there,
what do you mean?
When we got there, it was deserted. No sign of any living thing. Yeah, we were hoping to encounter you there and get some answers, but there was nothing.
You can see her kind of like looking a little confused, concerned. Have you been further? She doesn't. She's a little confused about your current location.
No, as you said, the gods smiled favorably upon you. We encountered through fate, it seems. We found a map in the jungle that we followed to an unknown location, and that's where we met the goblins, and that's what led us here. So we've not been to Victory yet, or really anywhere further past Righteous. So we do not know what answers will solve this mystery.
Where do you plan to go from here? Are you going to Vengeance? If you are, I'd like to go along. And then she looks down at the literal child again. But I don't know what to do with this one. I've taken to calling him Nana. And when she says that, he kind of like looks up at her and he kind of like coos. And then just says, nah. And he's wearing that like colorful gold, like yellowish beak on his face.
Nah, is it? I'll kind of squat down and look at him, and I'll see if I can like strum a nice sounding melody on a lute. And where is your home, Nana? I can roll for persuasion if that'll make a difference.
Yeah, roll persuasion.
My internet's crapping out, so it's a minimum 18. If someone wants to roll a d20, I can tell. I've got my character sheet up. Oh, there it is, 26.
No, he looks at you and kind of like puts out his arms from this like cloak thing, and they kind of spread like these little like small feathery wings that are like made from this, cloak. It's basically like a really nice cosplay of a bird. And then he just kind of like points up at the skies. Home.
Oh no. Is Azaka standing near us?
Yeah.
Azaka is. I assume we're all together. I'll look at her and ask, could he, does he remind you of a certain race of people that you were telling us about?
Oh, and she like looks at you quizzically and then, oh, no. The Terrafolk are reptilian, elongated heads and like the pterodactyl.
Gotcha.
This boy is certainly human.
No, he said he pointed to the sky and looks like a bird.
He when she says that, like he kind of like looks at her and scowls with his like beak mask that he's wearing.
And the Yuan-Ti, those were
like
the people.
Snake people. Yeah.
The snake people. Okay, got it.
Yeah, this child is dressed like a bird. Clearly.
Came from the sky, just like our friend on the black box. Or the friend who had the black box. Does he seem to listen to you? I'll ask Silvertusk.
Yes, I've been trying to get him to speak. He doesn't seem to know much in the way of words, but it seems he understands common, at least. To some extent. He tends to chirp and coo. And whistle.
Very well.
And that one just croaks.
Yes, we've met his people. They are a few days' journey into the jungle. I imagine if we head that way, he will likely follow.
And that's our next stop, yes? To steal a god?
I wouldn't say steal there, Gorm.
Andro looks at you quizzically when you say that.
Gamos has shown he is the rightful wearer of Vorn.
Still has crab stab up over his shoulder.
Speaking of which, he'll loot grab stab.
Love that. Grab stab has a small pouch that has some shinies in it, a scimitar, a short bow, a very intricate mask with all these feathers and beads and stuff, a very elaborate circlet that kind of like rests atop the mask but is not a piece of it, and of course a very nice amulet that resembles the amulet that Yaka was wearing, but when Yaka's was obviously a craft project, It was inspired by this one. This one has kind of like copper inlays and this like big red gem, and etched into the back of it is the word Vorn. Inside the pouch are 2 gemstones and a diamond.
Sure. Do you get any of this, Marshall?
I'm going to type it up right now.
Gamos will hand over the amulet, the gems. He'll leave the weapons, but he'll take the mask and the circlet.
Love it.
I can see Gorm and Gamos already trying to pretend they're goblins with their masks. It'll totally work.
100%.
The 2 most likely to be goblins. One with 4 goat legs, and one just a large, beefy man. I love it.
It was 2 gemstones, a diamond, the circlet, mask, the amulet, anything else?
Just their weaponry and stuff, which is
Okay.
basically garbage.
Okay. And Gamos, you took the circlet and the mask. You have it on your character sheet?
Yeah, I have those 2 on my character sheet.
Cool. The other stuff will just go into the bag of holding.
Love it. The gemstones, just for ease, are worth 100 gold pieces each, and the diamond is worth 150 gold pieces.
Dang.
It's pretty nice diamond. And then grab Stab's mask and grab Stab's circlet. And the circlet does not look of goblin make. The mask does, but the mask is finely crafted. The circlet is like fine. You would imagine it's worth something.
Gotcha.
It's gonna attempt to patch up whatever its name is. The bloody, yeah, them. Just with a couple hit die, close wounds, thingamajigs.
That will do it. Under will definitely spend some hit die that she's been lacking getting. Thank you. I'm feeling better already. I will put the name Nah out there for now. Well. So you said you're going to steal a god? Someone want to enlighten me?
False god. We could, if we understand how it works correctly. It'll just come to us, though. We are. Can you put the map up, Michael?
Yeah. Oh, Nate, you probably don't even know what the yellow line is at all. I realized I said black box earlier. You probably don't know what that is. They came across a body when they were tracking. I don't even remember if it was when you were tracking Azaka or when you were heading to Vorn.
I think we were headed to Vorn. Honestly, it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, you came across a body that had a ascending stone on it, but the stone was kind of cracked and broken and kind of emitting this like glowing light. And Brett kind of was messing with it and got it to basically recite past messages that had been sent on it. It was almost like a voicemail that it had stored messages that it was getting from someone named Lord Brixton from the company of the Yellow Banner. And that yellow on the map is kind of tracking their progress. I think once a day you can unlock messages from it if you roll high enough on it. And you've had a couple at this point, 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah.
That kind of have given you some insight on the land over that way, but you're really not 100% sure when those messages are from. Hard to tell.
That's cool. It's cool.
But yeah.
I like it.
I'll look to the party. So, which way do we go?
Yeah, so you're at a river, or like a stream off the river, that should take you down a little past Camp Righteous if you were to follow it down to the Shosen Star. Obviously, you could trek 2 to 3 days through the jungle to head back to Vorn. You also now have a child with you.
Love that.
Unless you would like to leave the child in the jungle. Or you could have Azaka escort the child somewhere. Or a lot of options. But now you've got a lot of things to consider.
We have so many NPCs in this party, it's ridiculous.
Yes, it is. Luckily for me, one of them doesn't really speak. And the other ones will just choose not to for most of the time. Like Zendala, she just stands there and just watches all of it.
Yeah.
What was that, Preston?
Nothing.
Oh. Well, I guess we go get Vorn, right? That's why we came this way.
Yeah.
My only worry is all those Grung gonna just attack us when they realize the god follows us now.
Maybe. I mean, is the peace zone centered on Vorn, their god?
Yes.
And so if it moves,
Oh, that's true. How great would that be if we just commanded an army of Grung moving forward?
Do we know how it works? Like, do you put the amulet around the statue's neck? Or not the statue, but the guardian's neck?
Out of game, if one of us wears the amulet and attunes to it, then as long as we're on the same plane of existence, you can command the shield guardian. Which honestly,
Yeah, I was going to say, even having seen those, I don't think he would. Well, I mean, if they just showed up out of the blue beside somebody one time, he might have seen that. I don't know. That feels like cheating.
You can certainly try. If you just want to roll to see if maybe Gorm has an idea, because he was the one that had kind of experienced these things before.
Well, Do I want my -1 Arcana or my -1 History?
Oh, I bet you remember more than that, friend. You've got great. You are wise and carry much more knowledge than you know.
About a 7's worth.
Do you want to inspire? Do you want that inspiration I just gave you?
Oh, what is it?
I
A
clicked
6?
on it. Did it not go through? It's a
No, it went
D6.
Yeah, D6. Yeah, you're not really sure. Mind is clouded. Too many concussions on the battlefield.
He's very dismissive of people that need extra protection.
But all that stuff. Think of all that stuff in the mound. The mound of goods that you gave up and left. Look at how
Let's
big
walk
that
out.
party is.
It's 11. Jeez.
What is this? Out of the Abyss? 11 NPCs, 11 people, bunch of NPCs.
Let's head that way. Towards Vorn. That's my vote.
Yeah, Gorma's still big on the kind of the providential aspect of the map, and now we've found the piece that we need to make that happen. And in addition, got this grung. It's obvious that he needs to go back to where he needs to go to, so just feels like a guided situation to him. And if the grung attack, and that is the eventuality of where he is being led, he will be glad to let Tiny bury him out in the jungle.
That's another aspect of this I didn't even think about. Tiny, there is not a lot of bodies to bury. Grab stab.
He'd only like semi attempt to bury grab stab.
Yeah, that's it. Grab stab and 2 goblins. Very small hole.
Are we just gonna leave the 2 old goblins they're just gonna come out of their tent and the whole village is gonna be gone? Couple dead goblins maybe?
There'll be a cutscene later, yeah.
I mean, they didn't even react when Mythos popped his head in the tent, so
I didn't have it in me to just go bopping old people back across the back of the head.
You could just tap them on the shoulder. Hi.
Goblin elder abuse.
Yeah, we didn't need full goblin genocide and the abuse of the goblin elders.
Right. We don't run a nursing home, so we're not into abusing elders.
Tiny will ask Mythos for a grape or 2 as we're walking.
Do you want an actual grape or do you want a good berry?
One of each for the frog.
He will give it to him.
Cool. As long as the frog is still with us, following us, lagging around, Tiny would attempt to offer both a grape and a good berry to our little baby froggy friend.
Yeah, if you guys are starting to head in the direction, basically, of Vorn, you'll notice that the frog will kind of just follow behind, though kind of keeping a bit of a distance. And if you approach him, Tiny, he kind of like shies away a little bit at first, but if you were offering him food, he does in fact eat it.
Oh yeah. Bringing the goods. We're friending frogs.
The frog. Little brown man.
Does the frog look injured at all?
No.
Okay, cool.
Just cautious. And you are bringing a child through the jungle with you? Just to be sure.
You don't have to say it like that.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Well, we'll put Undrel in charge, right?
We already have a
What
child with
option-
us.
You do.
Yeah,
You already
yeah.
have one child.
Yeah.
Maybe
What
this
option
child's
do we
also a
have,
monk.
sir?
We'll just.
I'm just asking. From
Again.
you guys didn't have any problem flinging a bunch of children,
It's
deep into the jungle in a cabin.
well.
So I'm
In
just
fairness,
asking.
half of them are already dead. So
We
We
have
just-
100,000
if anything,
GP
we
debts
save.
pay off.
If anything, we saved the rest of them from death. Maybe
Yeah.
from
Who's to say?
from Brett killing them
From
another-
Brett shattering them
with
all.
another really bad guitar chord. No, it's just Undrel's responsibility. We're not responsible for Nah. That's Undrel's. It's Undrel's now. Undrel just happens to be with us.
She actually will, after spending about a week in a cage with this young weird child. She does seem to kind of take him under her wing. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Thank you. But yeah, she'll kind of watch over him as she's wearing no clothes and doesn't have any weapons. But she'll watch over him as she follows you through the jungle with dinosaurs in it.
Surely she could have grabbed one of the scimitars.
Yeah, she can grab a scimitar.
We gave her grab stab scimitars. There we go.
Well, you love that.
We didn't check any of the remaining tents or on the campsite.
Well, there are no tents because they were all within the.
Every single one was on the. Okay.
All but the one with the two old men in it.
Okay.
And that is just still smoking away.
That's a shame. We'll give Undrel the Vorn amulet.
Yeah, LOL.
It is armor, I guess. No, and you'll notice Azaka will kind of hang back and kind of watch those two. NPCs got to stick together. Zendala doesn't seem very interested in them, though. Point of order. All right. So it will take 2.5 days to get back to form. Through these thick and dangerous jungles, of which I pre-rolled your random encounters, and you do not have any. But if you would like to roll on the Yellow Banner amulet, you can. Technically, you get 1 night, 1 day, 2, so you get 3 rolls if you want them. Excuse me. This whole journey is a bit slower, as Nah is not that good at moving through any of the thick jungle. And Azaka is kind of slowed by that, not trying to leave any stragglers behind. Undrel is able to keep up for the most part. But you can also tell that she's just not that well suited for this. And if people like her, that were traveling with her, you're not like totally shocked that they got lost and separated, just because she doesn't seem that well suited from traveling in the jungle. The frog, however, seems completely fine and completely at ease and at home, and he just fucking follows you. Follows your group, climbs trees every once in a while. At night, when you guys are camping, just climbs up in one of the nearby trees, sleeps up there. And
All of
Zendala
asked,
oh yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna say, am I screwing up her name? I thought it was Silver Tusk.
It is Undril Silver Tusk.
Got it. Silver Tusk is way easy to remember. Olive tried to get some more information about her and her quest. Did she travel with a guide? How many of them were in their party? That sort of thing.
Yeah, so she will kind of fill you in basically as much as you want to know, especially after she like maybe one of those evenings kind of breaking off from the child, having Azaka watch over the kid. She'll be a little more frank with her words, but essentially she'll explain that not maybe 3 days travel down the river. They had camped one night. There was 6 of them in total. They did not have a guide. But they were just following the river to Camp Righteous. And they had camped off river, kind of pulled their canoes into the jungle a bit, and were set upon by living vines in the night.
Yeah.
And multiple of their party members, she's certain, did not make it from that attack, but her and another named Markle got out. But they didn't have their stuff with them as they escaped from like basically sleeping, and they got lost and were kind of wandering through the jungle when they ran into some sort of predatory dinosaur that they had to hide from, and then eventually basically were found by a group of Patiri goblins who they didn't really have any way to put up a fight against. They were there she's been there for about a week in that cage. They had been feeding her some, and they were feeding Markle as well, and the two Na and the frog were also there in the cage when they got there. And a few days before your arrival, they had some type of ritual at night, a massive bonfire, and they killed and ate Markle.
Okay.
Yeah. It was quite vicious and horrifying to watch, and she was sure that she or the child would likely be next.
So this is literally the scene from Galaxy Quest when am I the only one who's seen Galaxy Quest, or is where the little guy's like, oh, how cute, and then they cannibalize the other. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is a huge load off Brett's shoulders. He was feeling real guilty, a lot more blood on the hands. And now to know that, there's 12 less cannibals walking around, this is good news.
She's super thankful.
We're riding high again.
Yeah, she's like incredibly thankful and very gracious about being saved from being eaten alive, but also from the possibility of seeing this child eaten alive. She wasn't quite ready for that. So yeah, but yeah, you can tell she's quite anxious and a bit more frightful about being in the jungle, but she's happy to be traveling with the group. But that's about all she knows. She had watched them for days. They kind of have a bit of a schedule that they seem to follow in camp. So she had been like kind of learning it, and hoping that she would have an opportunity to get out, but things were looking grim until you somehow saved her and from being eaten. But that's her story to this point. She will kind of ask more into the Camp Righteous thing, and basically asking about if there's any signs where like what happened, or and she seems pretty like anxious at the possibility of getting to vengeance, because now she seems even more worried about what's happened.
Yeah, I think I told her everything. So
yeah, you did. You can just tell that she's it's on her mind.
Gotcha.
Do we want to take the boats that were at Yellyart now that we've already left? So we don't have to spend time fixing the ones that we have?
Are you going to drag them through the jungle with you?
That's my question.
I think it'd be really hard to drag them through.
It would definitely take longer if you're going to do something like that. It'd be more days in the jungle, and then you'd also have to bring them back to the river after you get to Vorn. It's possible for you to go to Vorn and back if you wanted to try to get those.
But what do we do with Vorn in the boats?
It's another great question. Big
He's
heavy
a
metal
robot.
guy.
He can walk.
Let's get Vorn first, and then or see if we can get Vorn.
All right. Do you want to roll me 3 Arcana or Investigation checks on the stone? Over the course of the days.
Who's rolling?
What's Mythos got? What's his investigation or Arcana?
Investigation is pretty decent. You want some investigation?
Yeah, because what Brett kind of had a.
Well, I think I got the last. Let me, because here's what'll happen. I'll roll the first one, and it's gonna fail. Yeah, there we go. Because it's a flat roll, and be like, all right, Mythos, why don't you try this today? I seem to have lost the touch. Doesn't sing to me the way it used to. And then you can roll.
I lied straight to your face. It's my perception that's good, but I will still roll.
Is it better than a +0?
It is. It is better. All right. So the first day doesn't work when Brett tries it. So he gives it to Mythos to try the next day. And the next day it does work. And now I will do, for posterity's sake, I'll do the one that you got a few days ago so that it's on YouTube, because the last one we didn't even have it in the video, and then the video died anyway. But let us. Okay, so this one is the one from right before you arrived at Yellyart, followed by the one that Mythos just got. So the first was Rue. It's been a week since we landed and took to the river. All's been well, other than the day Bravos nearly lost his arm to a hungry croc. We quickly realized we were being tracked, but the birdfolk scouts kept their distance for a few days, watching our movements from afar. That was until the river brought us to near their monastery. Kirsabal is carved into the side of a cliff, upwards of some 500 feet above the river. The birdfolk were welcoming. We met their leader, Ashara. We were given a hot meal and a safe place to rest here. Although a little help on the treacherous climb would have been nice. They offered us something called the Gift of the Seven Winds for our journey. Though we need to find the components for the ritual on our own. If flying didn't make me so nauseous, I just might have gone for it. But luckily, we have Seward to navigate for us, down on solid ground. For the Yellow Banner, Lord Brixton. And then the one that Mythos just got is Rue. We've reached Nangalore, the now ruined gardens once built for an ancient Priziki queen. It lay a few days south of the monastery. One of the river tributaries flowed right up to the rusted gate. This is where the bird folk told us we could find the black orchid needed for their ritual. But entering to collect the flower came with a grave warning. The Starfallen could sense a great evil emanating from somewhere within the garden's crumbling walls. So it seems the warnings were to be trusted. We left the gardens behind. No need to find out what was calling that wicked place home. For the Yellow Banner, Lord Brixton. And then you do have one more investigation if you can roll some rocks.
Me again?
Yeah, on your third day. It does not work on your third day. You can't get it to trigger. But you did get one.
Okay. Do we want to roll off or figure out what we're doing with the Vorn amulet?
Yeah, so you got the Vorn amulet. And Gamos might have something you might want to look into over these days in the jungle.
You mean that shiny thing sitting on top of the mask?
Yeah. If he's interested in doing anything with that, maybe sitting with it for a little while, or just throwing it in the river is also fine, or shoving it in the bottom of a bag. I don't care. It's up to Gamos.
He just kind of took it because it came with the mask.
I love it. Are you having a roll off or what? Vorn amulet roll off? Throw it in the river as you approach the peace zone.
I definitely want it. If anyone else wants it, we can
Gamos
talk it.
Fuck that. Gamos does not want it. Zendala wants it.
That's cute.
We know Gorm doesn't want it.
Okay, then I will take it.
Wear it proudly. After 3 days, it's about noon on the third day when you enter a familiar area, the Peace Zone, as it's known. And the area just looks familiar to you, especially as you're getting closer to like Vorn, where you start to see the random like ruins and more of these pathways. What's on this page? So many things. So many things. I should just take
the night before we got there, Michael, I will have started wearing the amulet.
love that.
So I can be truly, I will have attuned to it. Mechanically speaking.
Where are there? Just gonna grab you guys from this page. Because things are working fine on this page. Paste you on this page. Okay. So one thing of note is you don't encounter any grung as you kind of start getting closer. The trees are not chirping with croaks, and as you kind of look through them, you don't see any grung in the area. And Azaka's kind of leading you kind of quietly through the jungle. Let's go back on this old map. Okay, it's working is a question. And here you are.
So when we get to this area, we don't see any grung at all?
No, yeah, you have not encountered any grung on your travel. None in the trees around the area like you had before. They were pretty hostile in days prior. That was almost a week ago at this point that you had seen them. And you don't see any signs of the goblins as you approach either, as you had the time you were here before.
Interesting.
Brett, as you do round that corner and get a look, you do see Vorn standing there as he was, and you do see the mound in front of him, kind of like a pile of stuff, much as it was before, and you can see some of those items that you guys had taken that are now kind of placed back kind of as they were at Vorn's feet in this kind of like mound of treasure, whatever, tribute to the Iron God.
Since I'm attuned to the amulet, does anything happen as I approach?
Currently, no. Nothing's happening.
I will say, Vorn, come. Does anything happen?
No. Nothing happens. I presume everyone is following behind. Sokka will be up there with you. And a fucking gaggle of NPCs right here. Just gaggling. Gorm, is your token working now?
It is.
I don't understand. I'll never understand. It's the same token.
I'll whisper to Gorm. Gorm, how do I get this to work?
Gorm pulls a javelin from off of his back.
Nate, your eyes go wide. This is literally what he did last time. Hang on, if you're gonna do it, at least let me get closer.
He would say that the ones that he had seen seemed like they were protecting their masters. So you gotta do something to be its master, is his best guess.
With that, can I make like an Arcana or history sort of check, Michael, to see if I can think of anything that'll help me exert command?
At this point, I think the checks on just the actual thing. We've done a good plenty of them. I think the DC would probably be too high at this point to know any more about them, just because.
I wasn't thinking it would know any more. Just like if I could think of an idea.
Is there a chance that the goblins are dumb?
It's possible.
His name is not Vorn.
I mean, does the amulet I have now look like the one that like is carved onto his chest?
Yeah, it looks very similar. Like their patterning is pretty identical.
Can I think? Vorn, move to me instead of speaking.
Yeah, as you kind of like start to walk up there and you're like really focusing on this thing, as everyone else starts kind of like coming into the area behind you. There is this moment where you're so like focusing in, and we're kind of looking from the camera, probably from Vorn's point of view, down at Brett standing there. And like Brett is like, you can see the furrow of his brow, like he is like really focusing on Vorn. In the background, we can see kind of Azaka standing there, Gorm standing there, and then the party even further back, just standing in the amongst the ruins. And you see as Brett's kind of standing there, really focusing, you see like this like almost spidey sense moment from the rest of the party, Azaka included, as they all like have this like basically like danger sense that something is going on. And this plant, this massive bush, kind of springs into action here. And I need everyone to roll for initiative. everyone within Zaka and down is all kind of given this weapon of warning moment from the weapon, and you all thank the money well spent as you roll for initiative as this massive plant begins attacking you. I just really love the visual of Brett's he's out of range of the weapon of warning, so it doesn't quite notice as he's focusing hard on this thing as this massive plant comes to life. So many NPCs. You're not going to be in the initiative, young child. And everyone would have their 6 bonus points unless Gorm was really not feeling it today for some reason.
Oh no, nothing's happened that would get him down in the dumps lately. He's fixing to get a chunk of javelin at Brett. He's maybe given 2 speeches.
All right. So Tiny, you'll be first to act.
Is that a euphemism?
It can
Nope.
be.
LOL.
All right,
Hey,
Tiny,
baby, you're about to get a
click on the
javelin
gun.
in the bag.
Click on the gun. Tiny is first in the surprise round.
Is that a face in the plant?
What I'm wondering.
This plant?
Yeah, it is a face. Okay.
Uh,
20, please.
is there actually like, is it just a plant, or is it actually like, is it making noise? Is something
see this-
making noise?
You see this massive, still plant that was there just start lurching forward
Okay.
in Gorm's direction. And your spidey senses tingle due to the weapon of warning that is in Mythos's. Is that a weapon of warning in your pocket, Mythos?
Couldn't be.
You
You didn't spend that much money.
Yeah, I only
Okay.
spent 1,000 gold on mine.
But how'd you get a weapon of warning at the bargain store? Jeez.
So the fact that it's a plant and then it starts
plant.
moving and it looks
Big.
menacingly towards Gorm and those people. It appears plant-like. It probably is a plant-like. It probably burns like a plant. So Tiny kind of has a little produce flame type effect in the palm of his hand, and he closes his hand, and then when he releases the hand or reopens his hand, the plant lights on fire as a flaming sphere
Oh, shit.
lands on top of it.
Oh, my God.
Or at least next to it, I suppose. And then the sphere would eventually move to it.
27 flaming spheres in the chat.
Really?
All
Oh,
right.
interesting.
I did that on accident. Can I give you a flaming spear?
Sure.
Well, I can give you a flame guard. Is that the same?
Can be. Be whatever you want it to be.
Flame candle. Can I just have? Oh. This is a flaming sphere. If you ever saw one. How big is it?
5 foot diameter sphere of fire.
Okay. 5-foot diameter.
It's a tiny sphere.
That's good. 5-foot diameter is 10 feet. 5 by 5. Oh no, 5-foot diameter. Damn. Okay, it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
Can I give you control of it? Because you can move it, right?
I cannot at the moment.
But you will be able to.
Yeah. Yes, I can move it. Sorry, as the bonus.
All right, it's yours now.
Cool.
You want it on him?
I mean, it would spawn next to him, and then I would move it on top of it.
Beautiful.
Dex saving throw.
Sure, it has great dex. It's a giant plant. How's a 1?
No, so three whole fire damage points.
Is that real?
Burn, baby, burn.
Just checking to make sure this is real. Why? It is real. Okay.
It's immune.
Doesn't seem to do as much as you would expect.
That's absurd.
Wait, really?
That's absurd.
I was joking.
Yeah, it
Why?
does do damage. It just doesn't do as much as one would expect. I literally just checked the actual monster manual to make sure that it was right.
Cool. Well,
And it is for a reason, I guess.
Okay. As long as there's a
well,
reason.
regardless, there's a flaming sphere on top of it, so yeah. And then let's see. Tens. And then Tiny will yell at everybody to stay further than 5 feet from it. To not get burnt yourself.
Cute. Azaka will pull out her longbow at the moment and pelt it a few times. Flink. One goes wide, but the first sends it into it. You. I put Undril on this, but I forgot that Undril is basically wearing no clothes. And her job will be to herd the child away. So they will run into this wonderful place, and Maddie will be like, yeah, I'm going to help. Because I'm not here. And then it is Undril's go. She will move. You should want to block Gamos. So she'll go there. And thinking the same thing is going to firebolt it, but then sees your thing and it's like, what the fuck? That's stupid. So she'll do a ray of frost at it. I guess 17, that'll hit. And as this frigid beam of blue-white light streaks toward the creature within range, it hits. And again, you see as the frost doesn't seem to have that much effect.
What is happening?
Though it does reduce its speed. So there's that. And
Did
she's
we
like,
know she was a caster?
yeah.
She's gone invis before.
Yeah, she's gone invisible.
Okay,
and then
that's right.
She used the firebolt in the last one.
That's right. My apologies.
Gamos.
Gamos will move here. He will Despite seeing the lack of fire damage, you will still rage and cause 2 damage to each creature within 10 feet, which is Gorm, Tiny, and it.
This guy's out of control.
I feel like I'm leading the league in Gamos damage.
You 100% are.
Oh yeah.
You are
I thought
always
he was
getting that
fine
first hit.
making a tank that dealt fire damage to everyone because he just expected this party was going to be all ranged.
I think the real piece is like it's secretly a 15-foot range because Gamos is
Because
so
he's such a
big.
big boy.
Yeah.
That's the killer piece.
When I was looking at the map, I was like, "Oh, that sucks for Gorm," but like everyone else is okay. And then when Preston said that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he does get hit, doesn't he?" Like,
you realize Gamos is a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
Benefits and detriment of being a big boy.
You will
It's
reckless attack with the lance against them.
Love that. Love to see that. 17 will hit the plant. Pieces of plant fly into the air.
That is Gamos' turn.
It doesn't make much of a sound because it is just a mound of shambling earth. And it's its turn. And it will shamble. But it can only shamble, loses 10 feet. 10 of its shambly feet. So it will shamble right there, using half of its remaining movement, some might say. And it will make 2 slam attacks against first Golem. First slam against Golem. 15 to hit. Don't think that does it against the armored man. And the second is an 8. And that's it.
Does it roll to confirm?
It makes another dex save at the end of its turn.
How's it
For my little fiery ball. No. And it's
Yeah, and then some fire damage.
2d6. Some little baby fire damage.
Hey, it's chipping away. Mythos.
Hey, Michael, does it roll to confirm that crit?
No, it's not going to.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't deal with it.
Fair.
And because it's an unnamed mook creature. But
Mythos moves there and casts Shillelagh on his quarterstaff. End of turn.
one just tried to slam me, man.
Gorm moves by the fire. And he
All right.
He's here for the play. He doesn't care about heat damage. He's got enough of it.
if he stays where he is, he's just going to get more heat damage anyway.
Yeah. It's fair.
And he reaches in his backpack and pulls out a block of incense and puts it on the fire and breathes deep,
Great.
and that is his turn.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared right now.
Make a dex saving throw.
Do I have to?
Mythos or Gorm?
Gorm. Because he ended his turn within 5 feet of my fireball.
Oh, beautiful.
There you go.
Love
5
that.
fiery
Love to see
damage
it.
points.
Brett, after we literally watched that whole scene, I feel like occur from Vorn's point of view. looking down at you as you're really trying to think, and all of this is happening in the background. And then you turn around, kind of stumped that nothing happened with Lauren, and you see the chaos that's ensuing. Welcome to the combat.
Did seriously nothing happen with Form?
Nothing happened with Lauren.
So disappointing. I will cast. I need a wisdom saving throw.
I bet it has wisdom for days, this plant.
Are those both flat rolls? Oh
What
my
are we in the happening?
Yeah,
The plants are
plus-
alive?
+0. +0. Just two natty 18s.
I mean, I'm pretty sure plants are alive.
But like alive.
But like intelligent.
Like M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong alive.
Like bad movie alive.
Yes. Like make you lay under a lawnmower alive.
It was the plants.
I'm so
What
bummed
a spoiler for
by
what happened. My gosh.
It was
I'm
in the,
so
it was in like a
bummed.
trailer of it.
What a
Yeah,
spoiler.
it was a bad movie.
Yeah.
Waste
That's all I
of an
remember
hour
from
and a
it.
half.
I remember that in the trailer and then waiting for that part in the movie and was like, oh, that's it. Okay.
What's that? M. Night Shyamalan?
I remember
Yeah.
the crazy granny in the end.
I do not. Maybe I didn't see the entire movie.
You're probably better off.
Isn't that like a Mark Wahlberg movie?
Yeah,
it was
Mark Wahlberg.
Wahlberg was in it.
And is it Zoe Deschanel?
Was she in that?
yes, she was.
Oh,
Should we have a watch party
The Happening.
where we all watch the Happening?
Yeah. Wahlberg, Deschanel.
How did it go wrong?
How did it go wrong?
yes,
How could
it's
it?
mine.
An hour 30. Shortest movie ever.
Anyway, Brett
An hour?
is so.
Yeah, that's it.
Minimum.
All right, Brett. Sorry.
Sorry.
Please attack the Shyamalan mound.
Brett is so bummed by the last 6 seconds that he doesn't even have it in him to inspire anybody. So that's just.
He's not feeling
That's it.
inspired in the least.
Yeah. He's just really depressed. That's my turn.
I love it. Tiny.
I feel like we should just extinguish my little fiery friend. Let me make sure. I don't know. She used Ray of Frost and didn't do anything. Didn't do much. So that's fire, that's fire, that's fire, everything's fire.
You're a real fireball over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's some spiritual fiery stuff going on.
Pyromancer.
We'll just move the ball over here. Actually, I can move it 30 feet. So we're just going to move it over there and then move it back on top of it. So it has to make another stupid save.
I'm into that. I'll
I'm trying to keep it away from the people that I explicitly said, don't stand next to the fire.
They love that, though. They just love the fire. Dex?
Dex.
It's got really good dex.
7 or whatever it doesn't take.
Mm-hmm. Take some of that.
Yeah, that's it.
Zaka will continue to pelt it with arrows because she respects Tiny and doesn't want to go stand next to the fire. Flump, flump. A solid strike. A solid strike. Zendala went back to the well. What does she have? She can throw acid at it.
I mean, why not?
She will do that. Acid splash. And it's not good at dex. Hey! The acid seems to boil away at this thing, and it does not seem to like it.
What is going on?
The damage type that works against it. Gamos.
To unmute himself. Gamos is going to shove his lance into the ground and draw his war pick.
Do you put the lance on the catapult that is hidden next to you?
Wish. And he has flanking, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And he will make an attack.
Ooh.
You'll love to see that, huh? I will allow you to. I will go through the rigmarole.
We make confirmations with advantage or disadvantage based on the original roll, right?
Yep. Yeah. Does not confirm, but does deal 9 damage. Any fire damage that you'd like to give it?
No.
It is its go. And it will move. There. Taking an attack of opportune from Gorm. Which will hit. Then it will slam twice against Mythos. And a 14.
No siree.
Let's see it, folks. Dexterity saving throw? With fire?
Yep.
How's that 11?
Nope.
Nope. That's its go. Mythos. It has come to see you.
This is true. The answer to this can be no, but I'm still rusty. Would it have been possible to use my action to use a bonus action to place a hunter's mark on the creature?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Sadly. The old bonus action economy is booming. Everything wants to be it.
It really does, though.
Yeah.
How did I lose my sheet?
Too many tabs.
How did I lose my sheet?
Bang.
Bing, bang, bong. That'll hit. Beautiful.
That's it.
Solid strike against it. Gorm is running away from you, it seems like. Or at least probably that's how you see it in your brain.
Yeah, with the smoke of the incense filling his nose, he's out in the middle of the jungle, but in his mind, he is within a palatial building of marble. Feels at center with himself, and he is going to, if I can move this token, come and attack it, and if he hits, will be smiting.
That will hit. Points of damage. It like shrieks, like a loud, horrifying, a lot of air being let out. This thing as you strike it. Brett.
I'm gonna try a wisdom save again.
Here come those natty 18s.
Hey, there we go. This time we pull out the flute and we just blow into it. We don't even play a note. And we'll cast, Dissonant Whispers at level 2. I don't know why it didn't roll for me. Alright, so it's 4d6 psychic damage.
Nice. Nice. Again, kind of screeches out. Horribly. Tiny.
Moving our little flame ball. Little flamey boy.
Dexterous plant monster?
Dexterous plant monster. Oh my. That actually saves. Cool. Good for you. Oh man. There you go, yeah. So half damage and half of whatever, or even less.
Yes. Oh god.
That'll do it.
Zaka. 2 solid hits. Some dollar. Give me a good dex save. Nice. There, everything's coming up.
0.
Solid Gamos. It seems to be more of a like cornered beast at this point. Earlier, it seemed kind of attacking in ambush, trying to get a quick and easy meal. And as this kind of last 6 seconds has passed, and it's really like the damage has kind of poured on, you can tell that it's like now seems to be fighting more for its life than anything else.
Alright. Gamos will make an attack at Reckless.
Yeah. 7 points of damage. How do you kill this ugly thing? God, horrifying. Look at the teeth. I don't even understand what I'm looking at.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Here's the full thing. Yikes. Gamos, you just pick the shit out of the right parts of it, and you kill it. You done did it. Shambling Mound is dead.
We did it.
You killed my shambling monster. Now, my thoughts on why it is resistant to fire and cold is because they're mean. The creators are mean.
I think it's actually meant to be like a water plant.
Yeah, it can't swim. It has a 20-foot swim speed and a 20-foot land speed. The interesting bit is that it absorbs lightning. And lightning
absorbs lightning.
Heals it. Yeah, lightning heals it.
I always think of it as like in Avatar when they're in the swamp and the guy's like water bending the lines. That's what I always think of it like, is it's just really so filled with like all its whatever. I don't know. That was what I justified it before.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I mean, it is a weird planty beast, but it could be like swamp. Really makes sense for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems like cleverly like, oh, cold doesn't work. Oh, fire doesn't work. Well, let me try lightning, and then you start healing it. It's kind of brutal. Let me give it a lightning, and you heal it for 30-something damage. Like that. But it tried to engulf people. It just couldn't get it done. If it hits, it grapples, and then it has you grappled it. But it has to hit twice, I think. Sad boy. I wanted to engulf somebody. I really wanted to engulf somebody. But now it just sits there and burns. As the flaming sphere burns the top of it.
Gorm takes one more deep breath of the incense as it winds down its use. And not a joke. He chucks a javelin at Brett.
Roll to hit.
We're going to activate this thing.
Yeah. That does hit.
It actually does not hit, as this massive metal hand just comes out, knocks you out of the way, and smashes the javelin out of the air. And then Vorn just stands there, staring at Gorm in that badass pose. Let me put Vorn.
Another NPC, let's go.
At least I'm not running this one.
Gorm will sit down Indian style by the fire and think of the valiant days on the battlefield long gone by.
Still a little high. Still a little, got that incense going through him. Vorn is accessible in the character section. Brett, you should be able to find him in there.
Hell yeah.
And it's really sad because while he did that to save Brett, he stepped on all the magic items and smashed them to pieces. That's too bad, really.
Oh, interesting. So it's not like a normal shield guardian.
One's a little bit different. Similar but different.
It doesn't regenerate, that's the big thing. Because don't normal shield guardians, like...
Yeah, they generally regain their hit points and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mute. So you have a Vaughn.
I have a Warren.
The treasures that are at his feet, you know of some of them. Oh, you've seen them all. There's a lot of gold and stuff scattered about, coins and such. But the last time you were here, you retrieved all of this stuff and eventually gave it back. There was a climber's kit, a dungeoneer's kit, a potion of climbing, 2 potions of healing. You identified the Staff of the Adder. You identified a wand of magic detection and identification. And then there was a stone that had a face like a cat, like carved into it, that you did not identify.
Do we want to take this stuff, or is that gonna piss off the grung whenever they show up?
How's the grung in our party reacting?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah, he's just kind of watching. Doesn't seem like he watched the whole fight happen. He watched the whole thing with Vorn, and now he sees Vorn kind of like, walking behind Brett. But he doesn't seem to have any, like, if he didn't know better, it's just like, well, he's still watching you guys. Like just another guy that you guys know out in the woods that you picked up or something. It doesn't seem surprised by anything. No real change to this growing.
I would think we're good to take everything now.
Okay.
Like, for starters, nobody's seeing us lift it. But secondly, we've got the object of the treasures obeying us, so...
Yeah. How much gold is there?
You can tell it's like probably in the low hundreds.
Okay.
Just kind of all scattered about, so it just depends.
Gotcha. Not that much.
Pick it all up. Yeah, along with so there's a lot more copper than there is anything else.
Got it.
And it's all just kind of scattered with all the painted rocks and skulls and feathers and stuff.
Can I have Vorn pick up the items and put them in the bag of holding?
Yeah, you can kind of instruct Vorn to do so.
Then I'll have Vorn do that.
Shall.
Can't get mad at us when Vorn was the one who gave it to us. He deemed us worthy.
The wand of magic detection and identification is 3 charge a day kind of thing. And it can basically identify or detect magic. Then the Staff of the Adder, I think we looked up last time. I don't know what the stone is.
Can I use the wand to identify the stone?
Yeah, absolutely, you could. It is a stone of good luck, also known as a luck stone. While this polished agate is on your person, you gain a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws.
Ooh. That's cool.
And it is an attunement item. But a flat +1 to all ability checks and saving throws is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Who wants that?
Zendala wants it.
Yeah, who sucks at melee saves?
She's gonna take everything. Yeah, I mean, that would be beneficial to anybody.
What was it again?
Stone of good
One
luck.
all ability checks and saving throws.
I mean, Mythos is taken if no one's going to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, considering I'm a bard and just got Vorn, I'm good. I obviously would take it, but I don't need it.
That would be good for anybody. So. Just have to attune.
Mythos will take it. Why not?
You.
Come on down.
Yeah. Call you, mate. Last chance for anyone to speak up. Cool. So that leaves the staff of the adder and the wand, right? No other big magic items.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cool. I figured those can stay in the bag of holding unless someone really wants them.
I think I'm the only one who uses the staff, so
Yeah, if you want it, obviously you can have it.
I don't do that much melee attacking.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Cool.
Give a flat bonus to everything. Jack of all trades? No. That's more than
No,
flat
that
bonus.
at your proficiency or half proficiency.
Do I just do a +1 to all of these on Mythos? I guess. How would I give you a +1 to all of your saves? Is there a way to do that?
I think you just have to manually put +1 to everything. In the gear.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Oh, there's this.
It's right in the middle.
Okay, I was just freaking behind. All right. Oh, global saving throw. Damn it. Too late.
Wow, there's one. Okay.
But there's not a global skill check. If there was, well, I fucked up. Yeah, okay, that 8 + 1. Sick.
There is on the right side, top right. There's a box that says "Show Global Skill Modifier Field."
Oh, mother effer. Hilarious.
I don't know.
Well, I already added a +1 for everything, so.
I would say I don't see any change when I click it, unless it's on the
Mythos.
core page.
Your sheet is.
Oh, you could. No.
And I just gave him a +1 to everything.
It adds a box on the main page, like the global save modifier.
Oh, cool.
So you could make it. It's like you could uncheck or check guidance or bless or something. You could just leave it like a +1 checked. but it's on the main page, so it just clusters that all up. It puts it right under the passive perception.
Got it. Yeah, I see that. That's a good place to
Yeah.
put guidance. And that's why they have named it guidance. Like automatically. Smart. Well, okay. Well, anyway. Mythos sheet is updated. Which now you got some really nice looking honor and sanity. What the fuck? Anyway, I'm digging too deep. Sweet. You guys are flush with magic items now. And Vorn. And where do you go from here?
I think vengeance, right?
Probably.
Unless anyone else has a spot they want to go.
I think that's what we're planning on, right?
Okay. Yeah. Vengeance is.
And then see what vengeance looks like, probably, and decide from there.
Yeah.
About 2.5 days to reach vengeance. From here, with a party full to the brim, we've got
Some might say overflowing.
some.
Is the Grung gonna follow us?
Do you guys start heading that way?
I mean, it's the middle of the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Almost, are you happy there's another big boy in the party now? Yeah, as you start your journey, basically south-ish, towards Camp Vengeance, you kind of turn around and look, and yeah, the ground seems to be kind of wandering behind you still, about 20 feet back, maybe 19 feet. But yeah, he seems to be following you. This giant party needed more members.
If I approach the Grung, does he still shy away?
Yes, but it doesn't seem. He doesn't seem quite as nervous as like when you approached him before, but he still does like. There's some cautiousness to him.
Cool.
He also puts out his hands, like expecting something.
Food. Good berry.
Mythos.
He will hand them over.
And
I'll give another grape.
The Grum will eat the grape. As you journey down to Camp Vengeance. Lovely. I think we'll call it there.